Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my first statue video of 2016. It seems like it's been ages, but good things come to those who wait, and this piece is awesome. And it's a piece that I never thought I'd be videoing because until last Monday I didn't even have this on order. But I'll get into that in a minute. As you can see, it's the Predator 2 Maquette by Sideshow Collectibles. This is the exclusive version, limited to 400 pieces. And wow, I'm just blown away by it. Awesome piece. Okay, so I've got rid of the box and I've now got the second head on its display stand, so you can take a look at that. Now, before I go into some close-ups on what I think of this statue, just give you a brief history of how I've come to receive it when I initially didn't order it and then I cancelled it. So basically, a couple of years ago this went up for pre-order, and as much as I love the look of it, I just couldn't justify the price. $1,200 for a quarter scale piece, way out of my price range. So I didn't order it. Then after being up for pre-order for a few months, it was cancelled. For whatever reasons, Sideshow decided to cancel it, refunded everyone their money. And a few months after that, it was resurrected. The edition size was increased from 300 to 400 pieces. And I had a change of heart. I decided I need an epic Predator piece for my collection. And I caved in and placed the order. Then, after a few months of it being on order, I decided, no, what am I doing? I can't spend that kind of money on one piece. So I spoke to Sideshow and I asked him if I could transfer my NRD to my Hulk statue, which they kindly agreed to do. So it was cancelled. No regrets. It's an awesome piece. This is what I thought at the time. It's an awesome piece, but I don't earn enough money to spend that much on one piece. Then last week, after in-hand pictures and videos surfaced and it looked like an amazing piece, a discount code appeared on Sideshow's website. And thanks to a good friend of mine, Hypham, on the Statue Collectors group on Facebook, he posted the discount code, and it was basically for 20% off of this statue, which came to $240 discount. And not only that, shipping to the UK was a ridiculously cheap $40. So I ended up ordering this piece for a total of, I think it was $999, which is still a lot of money. But considering I was expecting it to be $1,200 plus a couple of hundred shipping, it was about $400 less than I was initially expecting. So I jumped on it. It sold out that day, I think, the exclusive. And by the end of the week, it was here in my house on display, and it's amazing. I really love it, really happy I jumped on it. So that's my order history of this piece. Now I'm gonna go in for a closer look and show you some of the details, talk about what I like about it, what I don't like about it, which isn't much, and you can let me know what you think. Okay, so starting at the top, this is obviously the mast head, which I think looks amazing. When I first got this piece, I thought I'd display it with the unmasked head, just because of all the detail on his face. But once putting the mast head on, I just think it looks so menacing, and I think I prefer it now with this head. So that's how I've got it displayed at the moment, but both heads are really well done. And because you've got the display stand for the head that you're not using, you can have both on display at the same time. And I'm pretty certain that this is one of the few statues where I'll be switching the heads out quite frequently. Just so much detail on this piece. See the netting, which is real. There's quite a lot of mixed media. You've got the netting, and then you've got these kind of leather straps and around his waist as well, and it's all really well done. You've got his armour, which is tied on the side. Just so much detail. Paint job is really good. Really happy with that. The armour looks like real metal, bronze effect with the green on it. Looks really, really incredible. As you can see, the paint job on his hand is really nice. Overall, I couldn't be more chuffed with this piece. There's a couple of issues which I think could have been done better, but as a display piece, this is the best statue I've ever seen. It really, I mean, I've got some good pieces. I've got the Iron Man Mark 6 Maquette, the Spider-Man on the wall Maquette, and to me this blows them both away. I've got ARH Medusa Rattlesnake, and that doesn't compare to this. Let's have a look at the unmasked head, which I think is painted really nice. This is one of the parts of the statue I was most worried about, because they released the legendary scale bust a few years ago, and that wasn't painted well at all, and I thought, if they can't paint a half scale bust, how are they going to do on a quarter scale? But I think they've done an incredible job on this. Really, really nice. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but you can see his veins on his gums. Really nicely done. The eyes are really nice. I saw someone said that the eyes were decals, but if they are, I can't tell. So that's really not an issue to me. Yeah, awesome. So as I've got it displayed at the moment, this is how you would receive the regular if you went ahead and bought that piece. It comes with both heads, the display stand, the spear in his left hand, and the open right hand. And to be honest, this is how I'll display it. So if you've missed out on the exclusive and you want to get this piece, don't worry about getting the regular and missing out on the exclusive, because the regular is definitely the best display option. Okay, I've just repositioned him so I can have a look and show you at his side profile. I think the dreads are done really well. I've got the 1/5 scale Scar Predator, and the difference between that and this on the dreads is like night and day. Those weren't painted that well. They're nice, but if you look closely, it's not as good as this. And there's his plasma cannon. Now, I struggled for ages fitting this, trying to work out how to do it. And the way to do it is, before his head is put on, you get a little arm which you plug into his shoulder. Then you put the head on, and then you put the cannon on. So if you get this piece, that's the way you want to do it. You can see there the detail on his armour. Probably, I think, the best part about this statue is the way the armour is painted and how realistic it looks. Now, one of the complaints about this piece was the size of his spear. Doesn't bother me at all. I think it looks really cool. Without watching the film, I wouldn't know that it's too small if it is too small. So yeah, not an issue for me at all. Another issue that I saw someone mention is that the way the netting is done on his legs, where you've got the seam, again, really doesn't bother me. I mean, there has to be a seam somewhere, so not an issue. I prefer it on the inside of his legs where it is, as to being on the front or the back. So I really don't think that's an issue. I saw someone else say that the paint on his hands was actually stickers. Well, if that's a sticker, I don't know how they've got that on there. To me, it looks really nicely done. You've got looks like a boomerang or something on his waist, and a pouch, which that's all sculpted, but really nicely done. Okay, looking around the back, again you can see how much detail they've put into the dreads. They really do look good. This is the first time I've had a good look at his back, and again the armour is just done so well. It really is an amazing job that Sideshow have done on this. This cutting disc is on a magnet, so you can remove it if you place the exclusive part in his hand. It would have maybe been nice if this piece opened up and you could see the countdown detonator, but that's just a nitpick really. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'll just put the exclusive parts on so you can have a look at that, and I'll switch his head out as well. Okay, so here he is with the exclusive parts fitted. Now bear in mind that the unmasked head comes with the regular as well, so it's only the hands which are the exclusive parts. So in his right hand you've got the cutting disc, which is open, which looks really cool. And you've got the workings on the inside of the disc there, and like I said, you can remove the one on his waist. So yeah, really nice. And in his left hand you've got the breathing mask, which again is really nicely done, and you've got the tube which runs up behind him. I couldn't actually find anywhere to plug that in. There is a little socket there, but it looks a bit too close to his arm. But I'm not going to be displaying it with that anyway. I think it looks much better with the spear. So yeah, another look at the unmasked head. Okay, so that's a look at the statue. Like I said, I think it's an amazing piece. Really happy that I bought it. Do I think it's worth $1,200? No. I think that's still too much for this piece, even though I think this will become quite sought after and go up in price. The initial purchase price I think is too much, but I'm really happy to have got it with the discount. Now, there's two things that I don't like about this piece. The first one is these blades. They've done such a good job on everything else and they just look like cheap plastic, which is really disappointing because they stand out like a sore thumb. And the main issue with this is that they're attached to the body as well, so if this was removable with the hand, you could send it off and get it repainted quite easily and cheaply, but having to ship this whole statue or the whole body off to a painter is going to be a bit more expensive. But that is something that I'd consider having done in the future. And the other thing that bothers me is these skulls. It's probably been mentioned in every video of this piece, but the overspray, not good. Not sure why they've done that. And the colour of the skulls and the bones isn't very good either. Yeah, strange choice there. It's not a deal breaker. As a whole, it looks fine. The base is quite nice. Nice bronze effect. I just wish if they'd have nailed those two pieces, the skulls and the blades, to me this piece would have been perfect. The inaccuracies don't bother me. The lack of quills on his head would have been nice if they were added, but not a deal breaker for me. So overall, awesome piece. If you've got the money and you can justify it, go ahead and order it now while the regular's still available. Now to finish up, I'm just going to give you a quick size comparison with a regular quarter scale piece so you can see just how big this piece is. Okay, so here we have the size comparison, and who better than Arnie. I don't have the quarter scale Dutch, but I do have the T800 battle damaged, so he's quarter scale, and as you can see, Predator, massive. I know Predator's bigger than Arnie, but not that much bigger. I would say this is more between 1/3 and 1/4 scale. It is a massive, imposing piece. I believe it stands, I haven't got a tape measure to hand, but it measures 28 inches tall from the bottom of the base to the top of his head. So yeah, really big piece. Okay, so that's it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think it's worth the money? Do you think it'll increase in value? Become sought after in the future? Good, bad, let me know. I'll always reply. And coming up next, I will be doing a video on this incredible piece, which I got the day after Predator. And to follow that, I will be doing an updated room tour, and then I should be having my first pieces from XM Studios, so I'm looking forward to that. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.